Thai uncle vows to appeal after being handed 20 years over the death of 3-year-old Nong Champu in Mukdahan. It is a heart-wrenching case that gripped the nation. Uncle Fall on Tuesday received a 20-year sentence over the mysterious death of 3-year-old Nong Champu in May 2020. Despite media frenzy, legal complexities, and public outcry, the court acquitted him of murder. Uncle Fall vows to appeal, prolonging the saga. This is a tragic story about justice, media scrutiny, and the grief of a shattered family. A northern Thai court on Tuesday handed down its judgment on the death of 3-year-old Arawan Wongsrika or Nong Champu in May 2020. It found her uncle guilty on 2 key charges, although it acquitted him of murder. The court sentenced Mr. Chaiful Wifa or Uncle Fall to 20 years in prison. Afterwards, when granted bail, Uncle Fall declared his intention to appeal the judgment. This is a process that could take somewhere between 1 and 2 years to finalize. 47-year-old Uncle Fall or Mr. Chaiful Wifa, on Tuesday, gave a press conference in Mukdahan. It came minutes after the provincial court there jailed him for 20 years. He later obtained bail pending an appeal. He was convicted on 2 charges but acquitted of murder. The case relates to the tragic death of 3-year-old Arawan Wongsrika or Nong Champu in May 2020. A Thai court, on Tuesday, handed down a 20-year prison term to the uncle of a 3-year-old girl who was found dead on May 14, 2020 on a remote mountaintop in northern Thailand. The Mukdahan Provincial Court found Mr. Chaiful Wifa, known nationally in Thailand as Uncle Fall, guilty of causing her death. Significantly, it acquitted him of her murder. Little Nong Champu or Arawan Wongsrika disappeared from her remote village on May 11, 2020. She had just finished breakfast with her siblings. Her parents were away on routine business the same morning. That was 3 days before her body was found in a concerted search organized by authorities. Sad story about a beautiful little girl from a small, remote village who disappeared while her parents were away on routine chores, capturing the nation. The heart-wrenching tale of little Nong Champu's death, and the legal saga that unfolded around her uncle subsequently captivated the Thai nation. From the mysterious disappearance of the young girl to the media frenzy and recent courtroom drama, the case is unprecedented. It left an indelible mark on the country and the story is not yet over. On Tuesday, Mr. Chaiful was convicted of recklessly causing the death of the infant and depriving her of parental care. Following the court judgment, on the 6th floor of a local hotel, there was a press conference. In the presence of his lawyers, the uncle and his wife spoke to the media. Uncle Fall tearfully claimed his innocence. At the same time, he said he respected the court's decision. He vowed to appeal the judgment while also thanking the provincial court for granting him bail. This was given on a cash surety of 500,000. 3 days after her disappearance, her body was found naked on a remote mountaintop near the village in Mukdahan. A huge murder investigation was opened. The death of little Arawan Wongsrika, also known as Nong Champu, is not forgotten. It made national headlines in 2020 and into 2021 when pictures of the beautiful little girl appeared all over the media. She captured the public's heart as well as the grief suffered by her parents. On May 11, 2020, tragedy struck the peaceful village of Kok Kork in Dong Lawang district, Mukdahan. Nong Champu went missing from her home. The 3-year-old's disappearance sent shockwaves through the tight-knit community. The grieving parents, Annamai and Sawatri Wongsrika, searched for answers and justice. Days later, on May 14, 2020, the young girl's lifeless and naked body was discovered on a mountain in Phu Pha Yan National Park, just 2 kilometers from the village. The nation mourned the loss of innocence. Details of the gruesome discovery emerged. The circumstances surrounding Nong Champu's death were shrouded in mystery. It fueled public outrage and demands for justice. Police launched a murder investigation. Uncle Fall quickly emerged as a key suspect in the case. At the same time, the TV crews arrived and soon they began to interview the little girl's uncle. Amidst the grief and anguish, Uncle Fall emerged as a central figure in the media narrative. A rubber tapper and hired hand by profession, Chaiful Wifa became an unlikely celebrity. But first, he was the main suspect as police struggled to find definitive answers. They couldn't account for him at a key time window when the girl went missing. This was between 9:11 a.m. and 9:49 a.m. on May 11, 2020. The case turned into a media spectacle. Thai TV channels treated it like a reality show. Police scrutinized every aspect of Uncle Fall's life. Later, quite suddenly, the public shifted its perception of him. He became both a reviled figure and, for some, a victim of circumstance. The media's role in shaping public opinion became particularly pronounced. Two popular TV channels, Tyra and Amarin, provided extensive coverage. The sensational reporting, at times, appeared to overshadow the gravity of the case. It prompted criticism of the media's approach to reporting crime and tragedy in Thailand. From suspect to celebrity status, Uncle Phal's knack for persuading media audiences and the ongoing case of his tragic niece positively changed his life. Uncle Phal, with his assertions of innocence, found support from a segment of the public. His celebrity status grew, leading to fan followings, substantial donations, and even product endorsements. He and his wife, Somporn Lafo, embraced their newfound fame by launching a YouTube channel. Lung Phal Pattine Family now has over 358,000 followers. The investigation into Nong Champhu's death took more than a year, marked by complexities and media scrutiny. Witnesses saw Uncle Phal in the vicinity of the mountain where the girl was found. This raised police suspicions. Investigators discovered 16 strands of hair in Phal's pickup truck, matching the hair of the deceased child. Senior officers believed that Uncle Phal, who was close to the girl, had taken her to the mountain. Legal proceedings began with a joint suit filed by Nong Champhu's parents and public prosecutors. Chai Phol and his wife faced charges of murder, depriving a child of parental care, abandoning a child, and tampering with evidence. The court, on Tuesday, dismissed some charges including murder. However, it convicted Chai Phol of recklessness causing death and depriving parental care, each carrying a 10-year sentence. Wife of the accused man acquitted of all charges. At the same time, the court acquitted Somporn Lafo of all charges. However, the court ordered both defendants to compensate the grieving parents for their loss. The legal landscape surrounding the case showcased the complexities of the Thai judicial system. On Tuesday morning, the Mukdahan Provincial Court delivered its long-awaited verdict. It followed an extensive examination of the evidence. It sentenced Uncle Phal to 20 years in prison for his role in Nong Champhu's death. The court found him guilty of recklessness causing death and depriving a child of parental care, with the sentences cumulative. The public greeted the decision with mixed feelings depending on where you stood. Expert witness as to the young child's physical capacity led the court to conclude that an adult had transported or taken her to the mountainous area. The court's reasoning hinged on Uncle Phal's alleged negligence, leading to the death of the young girl. It emphasized that a child of Nong Champhu's age could not have ascended the mountain alone, relying on expert opinion stating that children of that age could only be mobile for 6 hours a day. The judgment underscored the court's belief that Uncle Phal, though not intentionally killing the child, played a role in her tragic demise. Despite the conviction, the court dismissed charges related to murder and other serious offenses. As the court pronounced the 20-year sentence, Uncle Phal wiped away tears. Press conference held afterwards in Mukdahan, Uncle Phal spoke to his fans and followers. He vowed to appeal and stood on his innocence in the matter. He faced the media. In the press conference at the Riverfront Hotel in Mukdahan, he expressed acceptance of the court's decision. Significantly, however, he maintained his innocence. Uncle Phal, visibly emotional, acknowledged his dependence on his legal team in pursuing an appeal. He urged his supporters to trust the ongoing legal process. "I don't really know. And I don't understand much. Ask the legal team to explain instead," Uncle Phal declared when asked about the specifics of the verdict. He thanked his fan base, known as FC, Fan Club, for their unwavering support. The emotional press conference highlighted the toll the legal battle had taken on Uncle Phal. The 47-year-old now faces the prospect of 2 decades behind bars. The court's decision sparked debates among legal experts, observers, and the general public. The emphasis on recklessness causing death and depriving parental care raised questions about the court's interpretation of Uncle Phal's actions. At the same time, some argued that the sentence reflected a balance. This was between acknowledging negligence and stopping short of convicting him of intentional murder. Earlier, the dismissal of some charges, including murder, fueled speculation and differing opinions on social media platforms. Court's judgment was greeted with questions, but on the whole, it was balanced and reasonable. It addressed a particularly difficult set of circumstances. Critics questioned the adequacy of the evidence presented. There was a disturbing concern about whether the legal system could properly deal with the peculiar circumstances of Nong Champhu's tragic fate. Correspondingly, such a case would be difficult to resolve in any country. In English-speaking countries governed by English jurisprudence, it would be a matter for a jury. In European countries, as in Thailand, it is for the court to form its opinion. Nong Champhu's uncle arrested as a suspect in her murder by police and sent to Mukdahan for prosecution. Coverage by two Thai digital TV channels criticized in some quarters by the public and investigators. Parents believe the murderer of their little girl this week in Mukdahan was a local to their rural village area. The case's evolution into a media sensation raised concerns. At length, it was about the balance between journalism and justice in the kingdom. In effect, the intense coverage, akin to a reality show, showcased the media's power to shape public perception. Media's role in this case is far more questionable. Whereas some argued that media attention brought necessary scrutiny to the case, others contended that it jeopardized the integrity of legal proceedings. Certainly, the line between reporting facts and sensationalizing tragedy blurred. This impacted not only Uncle Phal's public image but also the broader understanding of the case. The media's role in elevating him to celebrity status added a layer of complexity to the narrative. It challenges traditional notions of how criminal cases are covered. As Uncle Phal prepares to appeal the court's decision, the legal drama is far from over. Surachai Chanchai, the lead lawyer, outlined the plan to submit the appeal within 30 days. The next battleground will be the Court of Appeal, Region 4, in Khon Kaen Province. Basically, we are looking at a timeline stretching between 1 to 2 years. Appeal process could take 1 to 2 years. Legal experts say it will be difficult for Uncle Phal to completely overturn the conviction and sentence. The appeal process will scrutinize the evidence presented. It will also examine the legal reasoning behind the court's decision, and potentially introduce new elements to the narrative. It could either reaffirm the initial verdict, modify the sentence, or, in a rare occurrence, overturn the conviction entirely. At any rate, the nation still watches with bated breath. Presently, the legal system faces the same challenge. This is balancing justice for Nong Champhu and a fair trial for Uncle Phal. The outcome of the appeals process will shape the legacy of this tragic case. It will contribute to broader conversations about the balance in Thailand between justice, media, and public opinion. A story about the loss of a beautiful little girl and the appalling heartbreak caused to her parents. The case of Nong Champhu's death, from its heartbreaking origins to the recent courtroom drama, is a landmark one. Not only is it a compelling and tragic story, but it now transcends the boundaries of a single family's tragedy. It reflects the complexities of modern justice, media influence, and the societal response to crime. As Uncle Phal is left with a 20-year sentence hanging over him, the legal battle continues. The story of Nong Champhu, however, must remain one about the loss of a beautiful little girl. It should not stray far from the heartbreak of her mother and father. Perhaps the court's decision on Tuesday had that in mind.